Alright, mystery fans, let's talk about a show that's been quietly building a loyal following since 2021. It's set in the French countryside, full of charming characters, plenty of antiques, and of course, murders. Today we're diving into Madame Blanc Mysteries Season 1. Now if you're Hallmark, BritBox, or Acorn viewer, you know the cozy mystery formula. Quirky locales, picturesque towns, a few dead bodies that somehow never seem too grim, and a heroine with just the right mix of curiosity and stubbornness. Madame Blanc checks all those boxes, but does it do enough to keep us hooked? I've got thoughts. Some popular, some definitely not, and I'll share what worked for me, what fell flat, and who this show is really for. Let's get into it. So a quick overview for those who haven't seen it yet. And don't worry, I'm not going to do any spoilers. The Madame Blanc Mysteries first aired in the fall of 2021 on Channel 5 in the UK. And over here in the United States, you can stream it on AcornTV. There's 4 seasons right now, but we're going to talk season 1. The show was created by Sally Lindsay, who also stars as the main sleuth, Jean White, and she co-writes it with Sue Vincent, who you'll also recognize in this as Gloria, the overall wearing garage owner. The premise is simple but effective. Jean White, an antique expert, loses her husband under suspicious circumstances. Jean heads to the fictional French town of Sainte-Victoire, where her husband met his unfortunate demise. To settle up their affair, she has this wonderful house, and then she also settles in with a collection of quirky characters and then starts helping solve local crimes. I told you it checks all the boxes for a cozy mystery. Each episode has a standalone mystery, but the underlying story of her husband's death gives the whole season its backbone with a glimpse of mysterious red hand with this deadly red fingernail polish constantly smoking, watching over Jean. And it takes place in the cutest French village, complete with sun-drenched streets, hillside views, and gorgeous architecture. I'd probably move there tomorrow, murder rate and all. That's where Madame Blanc really nails it, the cozy atmosphere. The town of Sainte-Victoire feels like a character. You get the town square, the charming little shops, gorgeous chalets, and of course the pub, which like every proper cozy mystery doubles as the heart of the community and the rumor mill. And then there's Judith and Jeremy. Now, I know they divide fans. A lot of people find them too much, too campy. Me, I love them. They're big, they're over the top. Their complete lack of self-awareness makes me laugh every time they appear on the screen. They kind of remind me of the wilder supporting cast in something like, Agatha Christie with Roy. They are so much, but you gotta love them. Every cozy mystery needs those slightly ridiculous town folks, and for me, Judith and Jeremy are a highlight. Now let's talk about the mysteries themselves. On the plus side, they're definitely unique and fresh ideas. You don't feel like you're watching the same recycled plot from a dozen other shows that you've already seen. My personal favorite is episode 3. This is the one where Judith and Jeremy host an 80s party for their 35th wedding anniversary. You've got 80s fashion, an immediate win for a Gen Xer like me. The nostalgia, and of course, someone winds up dead. That episode just captures Madame Blanc at what it does best. Lighthearted, fun, with a load of quirky characters wrapped around a mystery. But here's the drawback. The actual investigations can be pretty shallow. Even by cozy standards, clues often fall into Jean's lap or the solution just comes out of the blue. It's kind of like Rosemary Thyme, which is one of my complaints about that. You're often left wondering, how did she make that leap? But whatever. Here, it's more about the ride than the reveal. And that's not necessarily bad, it's just lighter fare than something like Poirot or Vera. Think of it as mystery light. Easy to follow, easy to enjoy, but not something you're going to be scribbling down notes to follow along or doing any rewinding to check to see if you caught all the clues. In fact, you could probably go to the bathroom without pausing and you'd probably be just fine. Alright, what about Jean White herself? I mostly like Sally Lindsay in this role. She gives Jean some confidence, some authority, but I have to admit sometimes Jean just comes across as a bit, I don't know, entitled, almost like she's lecturing the locals. And that antique expertise that she's supposed to define her, honestly, it often feels a tad shallow, kind of like she just Googled it right before she said her line. Didn't nail it. Now compare that to someone like Mick Palmer from Acorn's Art Detectives. When he talks about a piece of art, you feel his passion and his knowledge. With Jean, it's more surface level. I would have loved a more genuine, antique, nerdy to give her character a little more depth. Don't even get me started on her infrared art app. I mean, it's not even borderline ridiculous, it's just ridiculous. And now the relationships. I'll say it, I never really bought into Jean and Dom's supposed chemistry. Dom, he's played by Steve Edge, is a great character. He's dependable, he's likable, the kind of guy you want as your ride or die sidekick. I'm not sure how he makes a living since he seems to just drive Jean everywhere and hang out with her all day, but hey, this is a cozy, so who cares? But as a romantic partner, I just didn't feel it. The show seems to want us to root for them, but I was just meh. Now I know it's coming, but I'm in no hurry to get there. Now let's talk Caron. I can't pronounce it. He's like the local gendarmerie, which is equivalent kind of like the police. I liked him a lot. He's mostly competent, he takes his job seriously, and he gives the show some balance. I think it helps a cozy mystery when the cop can play along without being a buffoon, and in that regard, Caron delivers. Okay, now the other side. Let's be honest. The writing here, it's simple. Very simple. On the one hand, that's part of the charm. This is light escapism, you don't have to pay close attention. Sometimes that's exactly what you want in a cozy mystery. But on the other hand, it means characters stay pretty surface level. Even after 6 episodes, I didn't feel like I knew Jean or the supporting cast much better than I did in episode 1. Other cozy mysteries like Ludwig or Murder in Paradise managed to give their leads more dimension even while still keeping things fun. Madame Blanc never really digs that deep. So uncomplicated, easy viewing, but not exactly layered. If you like the eccentric energy of Agatha Raisin, you'll probably enjoy this with the bevy of kooky characters like Judith and Jeremy, and there's a whole bunch more in every episode. If you enjoy the warmth, the sun-soaked tone of Murder in Provence, you'll probably like the scenery here, though Madame Blanc is a little lighter and fluffier. If you're a fan of Signora Volpe or Midsummer Mysteries, just know the sleuthing here is thinner, but the cozy vibes are just as strong as those ones. So, where do I land on season 1? For me, a 3 out of 5. It's good, not great. I love the cozy feel, the beautiful setting, Judith and Jeremy's antics, and the ongoing mystery about Jean's husband, which is honestly what kept me invested for all 6 episodes of season 1. But the actual sleuthing is pretty superficial, the writing is fluffy, and June's antique expertise and her somewhat snobbery just doesn't fully convince and get me totally engaged. Still, if you're looking for a cozy mystery that's more vibe than plot gymnastics, this is a fun and easy watch. So pour yourself a glass of wine, enjoy the French sunshine, and let Sainte-Victoire work its charm. So what do you think? Do you agree with me about Judith and Jeremy? Are they hilarious? Or for you, are they just too much? Did the season-long mystery about Jean's husband pull you in? Or was it just meh? Drop your thoughts below, And don't forget to hit the subscribe for more cozy mystery reviews on Hallmark, BritBox, Acorn. We cover them all. Keep sleuthing. This podcast was created by fans for fans and is not affiliated with or sponsored by Hallmark or the Hallmark Channel.